Breaking news on Theranos. The SEC is charging Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes, raising more than $700 million from investors through an elaborate years-long fraud.
The judge just sentenced Elizabeth Holmes to 11 years, 3 months in prison.
People didn't just buy a product, they bought a story. Theranos reached a $9 billion valuation, promising hundreds of blood tests from a single finger prick, until the truth came out. Stay to the end. I'll give you 4 rules that protect your money from the next hype cycle. Chapter 1. The Promise. Theranos pitched a miracle, hundreds of lab tests from a single drop of blood, fast and affordable, from devices you could place in retail pharmacies. The founder, Elizabeth Holmes, became the face of a movement, democratize diagnostics, end needles, change healthcare. Media loved it, the board dazzled, money flowed. In a zero-interest rate world, the pitch felt inevitable, the future is here. But there was a silent dependency, proof. In diagnostics, it works means independent validation, regulatory compliance, reproducible accuracy, every time, for every test. Healthcare needs proof. Chapter 2. The Black Box. Reports later showed the core device struggled with accuracy and reliability. Many tests allegedly ran on modified third-party machines rather than the proprietary box. In some cases, fingerstick samples weren't suitable for the claimed test menu, and quality controls didn't meet standards. The company culture favored secrecy over scrutiny. Few people had a full view of what worked and what didn't. When systems are opaque, bad data hides longer, and small errors compound into big failures. Opacity hides risk. Chapter 3. Governance without domain. Theranos assembled a star-studded board, but not one stacked with diagnostics experts. Star power signals legitimacy, but governance without domain knowledge misses critical checks. Add tight control at the top, aggressive NDAs, and a culture that punished dissent, and you've built a system where inconvenient data gets delayed or dismissed. Governance, safety. Chapter 4. The Unraveling. Whistleblowers, investigative journalism, and regulatory inspections exposed gaps between claims and performance. Partnerships faced scrutiny, results were questioned, and eventually, tests were voided. Investors and the public learned that narrative momentum can't replace scientific rigor. Legal consequences followed. Theranos shut down, and the founder was later convicted of fraud in federal court. The cost wasn't only money, it was trust. Trust is expensive. Chapter 5. Why it happened. This wasn't a random accident. It was a stack of vulnerabilities. Narrative over validation. Big promise, thin proof. Secrecy over transparency. Black box culture. Prestige over expertise. Board optics versus domain checks. Speed over compliance. Retail rollout before readiness. When incentives and hype push faster than the evidence, the gap eventually closes, violently. Stacked fragility. Chapter 6. 4 lessons to protect your money. Lesson 1. Proof before belief. Ask for independent validation, not internal slides. In finance or business, demand third-party evidence of results. If the claims are extraordinary, so must be the proof. Validate before you trust. Lesson 2. Governance with domain. Prestige boards don't guarantee judgment. You need operators and domain experts who can ask the hard questions. Expertise over prestige. Lesson 3. Transparency beats mystery. If a system can't be explained simply, or won't assume higher risk, opacity delays truth and magnifies losses. If you can't explain it, don't fund it. Lesson 4. Compliance is a moat. In regulated spaces, compliance and QA are part of the product. Speed without rigor burns cash and brand, fast. Rigor is a feature. Theranos is a warning, but it's also a map. If you demand proof, install domain governance, and eliminate opacity, you protect your capital, your reputation, and your time. If you want more rise-fall breakdowns with real playbooks, subscribe. Follow Money Mentality for more rise and fall stories like these.